Hello, my name is Mighty, and I'll be walking you through the Tralis mobile app solution for the ICP World Computer Hacking League Hackathon 2025. Trally is a gamified email management tool designed to help users clean up their emails while also earning rewards on the site. We have a Flutter mobile app that is directly integrated with the ICP canister. The backend is completely hosted on ICP and built using Motoko, which ensures decentralized and tamper-proof storage and execution. For the hackathon submission, all our current interactions with emails are mocked. So I'll be walking you through the files that are available in the project setup. We have the dfx.json file, which contains a JSON structure of the canisters, which is literally backend. We have in the main and the type. So, and also we have a list of files under the Trally underscore backend folder inside our source folder. So in the main.mo, which is the main.motoko file, we imported some modules which are buffer, natural, and also text. Next, after the import, we have our persistent actor. So the actor is marked as persistent because we want the state to be maintained across updates. So, and here we have our type of email. So we create a type because of type safety so that we can introduce lesser bugs and build more robust features. So we have type of email to have this types: ID, subject, from is red, and is spam. Spam has a bool, so as is red. Then here we have transient or variable inbox, getting initialized as having a type of buffer. And this buffer also has an internal structure of an email being in email format. Then we have 10 as our initial capacity for the buffer. Same thing applies to the archive. Then for our initialized variable, it has a type of bool and initialized falsely as false. So also note that the transient means that we want these values to be changing even though we are upgrading our canisters. Once the canisters upgrade, we want these values to always change too. We don't want them to be static. So which is what this transient stands for. Then we have our private function called init inbox. Init inbox, which if not initialized, I mean if not false, if true, then we want to add these records. These are called records. The ID equals to 1, subject equals to import update, important update from, and so on, into each of them into this inbox variable, which is a buffer that we created, right? So each of them has to be added once we initialize our inbox. This function, once we call this function, it will be added into this inbox variable, which is a buffer holding these values, holding these records. So also we have our query function called public query function fetch all emails. This function is a query type because what a query does is it's very fast. It's used to call to just read only. Yeah, to just read only from the canister. It makes calls and then returns the values for us. So here we are telling this code to do what? To fetch all emails for us, and it's an asynchronous function which a type the expected type response output or return output should be an email array, an array of emails. So here we initially call our init inbox function that was defined here. It's a private function, which means it's not available in for calls by other files. So here we have our init inbox, then which calls this. Then we have this value. We have this codes block executed. Then we return what? Buffer.toArray inbox. This buffer.toArray inbox, what does it do? It converts our buffer into an array. To as the method talks about here, to array, turns this buffer into an array using the values of the inbox that are here. The values that are inside this inbox turn them into an array. So also we have our get archived emails function. It is a private and public query, meaning that we can call it from other modules as the needs arise. Also, we'll return an array that has become a buffer that has been converted into an array using the archive values. It's also an asynchronous function. So yeah, we have our private function, find email index. This private function we don't need it in other modules, we only need it here. So and we are switching the permissions to just this main.mo file. So it has a parameter, collects a parameter of ID, which is of type natural numbers. So and then checks through our inbox and see if the current email.id, any email.id, any email has an ID that matches the one that will pass through it. So and that is that. So also here we have our public function mark as read, which is used to mark an email as read or not. So same thing for the delete email and our archive email. The delete email takes an ID and then deletes the email corresponding to that ID. And also archive email also removes the email from our inbox and saves it on archive, meaning we're not going to be able to see it as part of our normal inbox. So now we can actually test our functions and see what they are about. Here we have deployed this using tfx deploy. So and here I have my identity. So I'm deploying all stars, and then after it was deployed on the local host, so I have this available at this my backend available at this URL. So going to this URL, I have this candid UI where I can interact with my API. So the first, I have archive email, delete email, then fetch all emails. So let's start with fetch all emails and execute this function and see what we are going to get in our output log to the right here. So present query. So we have a response. Let's put this into a very nice interface. Okay, JSON. Yeah, in JSON format. So we have this response, which is our initial value that we set here inside our init inbox, which is very cool. Okay, yeah, let me quickly walk you through the Flutter mobile app code base. So here we have the home page screen, which is where the user firstly lands to after they sign up. And here is the code for the reward section. The reward section shows the header showing how much the user, and then but below we have how much the user has earned through point accumulation. Here's the code for the settings. The settings is for the user to see their account details and personalize it to their own taste. The user can change their email address, their name, their bio, and also if they want to be receiving email notifications in the app. And also there is a link for them to go to their badges, and they'll be able to see the list of available badges they've accumulated while using the app. And finally, we have the bottom tab bars. The flow of the app is straightforward and is designed to be sleek and intuitive to the user. From a very smooth onboarding, the user signs up with an auth provider. This currently is mocked, but in future versions, we aim to integrate a very robust authentication system where the user is able to sign in and sign out with an ICP or authentication provider like NFID for the internet identity. So we're using the Flutter package, Flutter ICP Hot. So from the onboarding, the user enters their homepage. This homepage shows how many percentage of emails they've been claimed lately. Progressing to the claiming page, the user gets to see a list of mails that they've synchronized with the system. These mails are mails from the original mail account, and they need to claim them, either marking them as important or star them for later use, also cleaning them finally. On the reward page, the user gets to see how good they've done so far. Based on cleaning their mails, they get to see the points they've accumulated for each activity that they've done, such as marking as inbox. So to the settings, the user can update their profile, they can edit their bio, they can also set email preferences and notifications preferences, and basically users can see everything they can for their accounts here. Users can view the badges they've received, how many and which ones are available at the moment. So Charlie offers a platform for users to clean their inboxes and gamifies the experience. Thank you for watching.